Really? Okay. Now, we are talking about stages of change and motivational interviewing. Okay. So, be attentive because the moment you miss this one, you get troubles. Do you get me what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. So, stages of change. There's someone or there's a group of people who are encountering some problems when it comes to their behaviors. So there's need for them to change. We're talking about bad behavior, not good behavior. You can't change good behavior. But the kind of behavior which is supposed to be changed is a bad one. Can you give me a good example of bad behavior which can cause some people to be disturbed because of that kind of behavior? Prostitution, drug and substance use. I'll come later.
Drug and substance abuse no different.
Yes, it's not a bad behavior.
It's a bad behavior. Don't. No, I'll explain to you. It's a bad behavior. Then another, stealing. Yes. Smoking is a bad behavior. Because this one was developed from there. Smoking. They have indicated there. It's a bad behavior. Now, there is need for change. You can't tell somebody who is addicted to any kind of bad behavior. We are talking about addiction. Addiction here. Calling to an end. You want to deal with this particular problem once and for all because of addiction. Right? Now, they are saying for those people who are into it, it's not easy for you just to tell them, can you please change? Or just forcing them, change. They can't change. Because they don't feel like changing. They don't feel like changing. Then you can't dictate them on what are they supposed to do. It's very impossible. Now, we are very lucky. There are some people who sat down and made a thorough research to find out on how you can go about it. If you want some people, you can just help them if you want them to change. Now they have given us these changes. They say these changes, for those people who are addicted, for them to change, is a process. It goes into stages. Some authors say there are 7 stages, but according to the one who developed this or these models, we'll go to Prochaska and De Clement. They wrote a book. Prochaska and De Clement, they wrote their models. They developed these models. So they're ones which, up until today, when you want to help some people change their bad behaviors, you take from their models. You take from their work which they developed. Now, they have called it as stages of change and motivational interviewing. Motivational interviewing. They are saying these 2 trans-theoretical model, which in short is being abbreviated as TTM, and motivational interviewing, they are inseparable. They are inseparable. You cannot separate these. You want to help somebody based on Prochaska and another one is who? Implementist models. If you are focusing on these 2, it means you find it and you prove to say that these 2 cannot be separated. Because why can you not separate them? You cannot separate them because they are similar. That is to say, they both emphasize on client-centered approach. Client-centered approach. That is to say, for example, you're social workers. You want to help some people who are addicted to a certain kind of behavior. Maybe they're chain smokers, they're prostitutes, etc., etc. But you want to help them. Your duty is not to force them to change, but you'll be there to support them in the process of change. That's why they're saying these two are talking about client-centered approach or person-centered approach. If you can remember, person-centered approach or client-centered approach, that is to say, much of the work is being done by who? Client himself. Because of the one who has that feeling of probably continue doing it or I'm tired, I better stop. But you can't tell him or her to stop. That's why both of these two are talking, or they are saying, or they are putting much emphasis on client-centered approach. Again, they focus on exploring ambivalence. Ambivalence, that is to say, if somebody is settled very much in a certain kind of bad behavior, and for you to tell him to stop that is very difficult. Sometimes, if you share your knowledge, or if you're trying to help him or her, it will reach a certain time whereby he or she feel like stopping it, but later on, maybe he or she can stop today, and tomorrow he or she goes back to the same problem. That is to say, you have to convince him he doesn't feel like wanting to stop it. So which means this particular person who has that particular problem, we call it ambivalent. He is ambivalent. That is to say, he has mixed feelings. Muntu wakuba iyeyo amkumpira kuba akasiya kuba ndio tunakomo sana ndio kwa hiyo muzo kasi. I remember we made a research some time back. That was around the 2002, if not 4, with the Center for Social Research under the University of Malawi. We are going around chatting with prostitutes because of the effects of HIV/AIDS. Occupation yangu ni kumsimu kuzo kuti the moment you fall sick kila kitu yosiki then she goes to her room, she brings zitunzi za nyumba mene ana mama kumuzio nyumba hii ya plani but nama adrama sana sio ya kompa then mkandizo BC. Is the government going to help me? What is the government give me? Basi kungumasha tu mpaka ndarama kungumatua 100 za kuti basi every day. So kwa mwezi mpaka ndarama sana. Then mkandizo BC. You see? So she's benefiting from that bad behavior. Now you're coming here to tell her, stop this, stop doing this. So later on, those people, you had some interviews. And the kind of interview I want to say is motivational interviewing. You are interviewing. You are interviewing. You want them to change. So in the process of wanting them to change, which strategy are you going to use? It's an interview. It's the kind of interview it's going to motivate them to change from waste to good. Can you see the meaning of motivational interview? Yeah. I see the kind of the method which you're going to use in the process of wanting that particular behavior to go, bad behavior to go. It means you're going to use a motivation kind of interview. Now, amakhala pamuganizo ndikasiya sindidya ndikasiya palibe mnanganditisi angandithandize mapeto ake ndisavutise apa umama mulungu adandilenga ndinapo kupangira makomera. Let me just offer myself for money. Kumpaswa mtima akudziwa kuti ileyo ndikakutenga matenda akubanga kwata. So amakhala ndi in two worlds. Uku ndikoza kudwala ndikadwala zanga zasokonekera. Uku chabwino ndikoza kusiya ndikasiya ndikupembera mapesa. So that one is ambivalent. Is in that situation. That's why they're saying both TTM and MI, they do focus on exploring ambivalence. Ambivalence is a state of having mixed or conflicting feelings or thoughts or attitude towards a particular problem or behavior. When it comes to wanting to make a decision, you are struggling. Should I stop it or should I continue? So they also both promote sustainable behavior change. Both of them promote behavior change. Now, the trans-theoretical model of change states that healthy behavior, we are looking at the healthy kind of behavior. These ones, or these two developers of this model, we are looking at diet. You know, when mafuto ena amene antu ena amakonda kudya kwambiri. Mafuto up to the extent when they become obese. Obesity develops. Massive. Yeah. So such kind of people, amene alone kwambiri. Inakatifuka. Ena bazakuja. So such kind of people, they need to change. Without using on a sport, and then all of a sudden, wow, to stop this. Some of them. So we are talking about healthy behavior. We want to change kind of healthy behavior which they are dwelling in is hazardous. So if it's hazardous, then you as social workers must come to assist such kind of people who are into it. So these two developers, they brought 6 stages of change. They brought 6 stages of change, of which you were going through them, right? The first one is known as what?
Pre-contemplation.
Pre-contemplation. Pre-contemplation, the way you pre, it means before. Before contemplation. Before contemplation. You haven't yet started thinking about it. You haven't started thinking about it. So in this stage, they are saying the individual does not intend or does not want to change his or her behavior because he's weighing the pros and cons of stopping it. Mundu huyu unasikia akuona wino mwaka kamera kukadumani hapo kapena mwaka kusia kadumena hapa. So the pre-contemplation stage. In this the individual does not intend or does not want to change his or her behavior. Why do you think he doesn't want? He's not ready to change. Why do you think so? Yes, he's addicted. But why? Yes, he's weighing advantages and disadvantages. Mtu huyu tukuza mtawala ule matsiku akupeza 100,000. Mwezi utasi sakapeza sina basi na hiyo. Kwa sababu mimi ukisia hiki pesa hiki na hiki. Kwa kosa hiki na hiki. So she's getting 100 or he is getting 100,000 within 12 hours. Ndio mwezi utasi. It's way better. So this one is not ready or he doesn't intend to change his or her behavior. Now again, in the same stage, it is suggested that many people at this stage are unaware or unaware of their problems. Behind anybody's behavior, there are problems. Is just looking at what he gets or she gets from that action, from that behavior. What will be the problems behind that? Behind doing that? Behind prostitution, there is death, there is sickness, and what? Woman is a child. TCO, society. Driving and there are problems, which is going to encounter sickness. Right? It means you. So, is unaware or unaware of their problems on pre-contemplation. And the second one is contemplation stage. To contemplate one doesn't organism, the senses are aware. Thinking. You start thinking. That person who is addicted will start thinking. Will start weighing deeply. So the individual is aware that a problem exists. He's aware. He's contemplating. He's just contemplating. He's just thinking. So he's aware that a problem exists in relation to that behavior, and is seriously thinking or contemplating of overcoming it, but has not yet taken action. But he's just contemplating, he's just thinking. And the third stage is preparation stage. Now, many people see what next. So, an individual has decided to take an action in the next month. Not just today, I've just decided to make up my mind to stop it. No, but I'll stop it. By and by, he's doing it gradually. He's doing it gradually, slowly. I'm telling him those stuff for the one day he was taking the whole packet. The macaroni was in that packet. He goes around with the 10 minutes. 20, fine. 20. I'm a best at it. He started to come on moment. After the whole 18. The next week, I 16. I show you buy. So this change, most of the times, is looked at from month 1 to day 1 up to month number 6. 6 months. Because I will change. First day up to a period of 6 months. You complete them review. By that period, I'm not continuing, like you see. Now, the first three stages, according to Prochaska and Di Clemente, they are calling them as motivation. They are motivation stage. They are motivation stage. And the remaining ones, they are known as action stages. That's when you decide to take an action. You decide to take an action. I don't know if there's any question before we proceed. You can ask. If you have any question, please, you can ask. Okay. They are saying the trans-theoretical model, which is also known as the stages of change, right? It's also known as the stages of change. Trans-theoretical model is also known as the stages of change. It was developed by Prochaska and Di Clemente in the late 1970s. This one evolved through studies examining the experiences of smokers who quit on their own. Did they quit because Prochaska and Di Clemente developed these models? No. But these smokers were put under study to see to it. How are they going to stop this kind of behavior? Thus, they were chain smokers. So, experiences of smokers who quit on their own, with those requiring further treatment to understand why some people were capable of quitting on their own. Why some people were capable of quitting on their own. So it was determined that people quit smoking if they are ready to do so. Not only smokers. This one applies to any kind of bad behavior. If you're engaged in that kind of bad behavior, it means they are capable of quitting on their own. So it was determined that people quit smoking if they were ready to do so. That the TTM focuses on the decision making. TTM focuses much on the decision making of the individual and is a model of intentional change. Intentional change. So the TTM operates on the assumption that people don't change behavior quickly and decisively. They don't change bad behaviors quickly and decisively. It's a process. It's gradual process. Hebu some stages. So mkamaona anatena. Kamila kamili. Kamili nchi kabla hili sakajamu. Pamoja pamoja akachini. On their own. They do what? Change. So rather change in behavior, especially habitual behavior, happens continuously through a cyclical process. It's just like I said. So TTM is not a theory, it's not an idea, but a model. It's a model. What's the difference between a model and a theory? What is the difference between a model and a theory?
A model has some stages.
I think a theory is just an idea which is being conducted by the scientists and has been proven or accredited. And a model is it's something which has processes, and it's more especially used in treatment in treating something.
Thank you very much. So the TTM is not a theory but a model. Different behavioral theories and constructs can be applied to various stages of the model. You know, those theories can be applied can be applied. Can be applied to various or different stages of the models where they may be most effective. Other people's ideas can be applied in various stages of the model. Because you'll be saying, according to such a person, used such. So you later on, after having used that theory, you become a role model to others. Because you once tested it and it worked out to you. So others will emulate from you. Because you once used other people's ideas and it worked out. And they will look at you as their role model. So the TTM says that individuals move through 6 stages of change, namely pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance, and termination. What is termination? Some say relapse. Fine? Okay. So termination was not part of the original model and is less often used in related behaviors. I hope with this one you've gone through it, the same stuff which I gave you. Yeah. So that's about the stages. I don't know if there is any question on that one. Do you have any question on that one? The TTM and MI are important, or they have advantages. Why do you think these two are important? Or what are the benefits of integrating these two? Why do you think they're important?
They motivate the person to change.
Yes. They motivate clients to change their bad behaviors. That's very true. The first one. The second one, they promote client engagement. You engage, you as social workers, you engage with this. You engage. And the third point, they improve self-efficacy and confidence. When you are assisting a service user or a client, you're giving him confidence. You can do it, it's possible. You can stop this. He or she feels like, yes, I can do it. So you are giving him confidence. At the same time, it promotes self-efficacy. The fourth point, it promotes sustainable behavior change. Promote client engagement and behavior change. On the other side, TTM model has got limitations or disadvantages. I hope you went through this. What are the disadvantages? When you hear about the way the limitations is, disadvantages. What do you think could be the disadvantage or the limitations? Of course, there are several limitations which should be considered when you are using this theory in public health. What could be these limitations?
Just a try. It's not a reliable model because because it's for the client to choose either to change or not. So it's not somehow reliable.
Yes, this one you cannot rely on it 100%. Still, you cannot rely on it 100% because how do you know if the client is going to change? How do you know? Yes, you will be following up, yes, to see to it if there is any change. No, sometimes, then we have to do analysis. Okay, the theory ignores the social context in which change occurs. Change sometimes is done in a social context. The lines between another one is they're saying the lines between the stages, those stages, from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 up to the last one. The lines between those stages can be arbitrary with no set criteria of how to determine a person's state of change. The questionnaires that have been developed to assign a person to a state of change are not always standardized on or validated. Now they're saying if you're using questionnaire to see if there's some changes. If a person is moving from stage 1 going to stage 2, those questionnaires sometimes they are not valid. They are not validated. They are not validated. They are not validated. Or they are not always standardized. That is to say, it's difficult maybe to be quite sure if indeed there are some changes. Sometimes it happens to see there's some changes. There is no clear sense for how much time is needed for each stage. If that client is on stage 1, you don't know how much is he going to remain in that stage before he goes to another stage. So time limit. For how long is he going to remain in this stage before he goes to the next stage? You can't tell. It's different. You can't tell. It's different. Now, what do you think is the aim of this TTM? Why TTM? What's the aim or the goal of TTM? What's the goal of TTM? What's the goal of TTM?
To address people at various stages of change processes.
Mm-hmm.
To address people at various stages of decision-making processes.
Did you hear that?
No, he's using much slang.
To address people at various stages of decision-making processes.
That address?
To address.
Address. Address.
Okay, okay, let us stop there. We'll continue in the next. I wanted to introduce this one to you. I don't know if you have any question.
We didn't talk much on the psychoanalytic approach.
Yeah, I said that one. I did that. See what they're not for. That one, a lot of psychology. In short, that one is just what do you call it? It's a talk fair. It does. I mean, it deals with solving the problem of
The mind.
mind, and that one can be dealt. Can somebody get you using tablets when he's mad?
No.
I don't remember. It's you use talk therapy. Makwala kawika wini mungu omugoneka makwala kawika wini ukunda kugoneka mutane mwina omutumisa. So the healing of the mind is through talking, talk therapy. Psychodynamic, psychoanalysis, psychoanalysis, psychotherapy, right? It's a talk kind of therapy. Thank you very much.